GM, everyone. I believe we are ready to start. And we'd like to ask our X1. Hendo, you can mute your mic to turn off the music. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's AMA session organized by our X1 over here. Friends, first thing first is be sure to give our X1 a follow. And today our topics, the future of on-chain behavior. AI empowers decentralized financial new ecology. I'm Moonlight, and I will be your host for this exciting discussion. I also serve as the head of committee at Nimbo. And we want to talk about blockchain technology as well as DeFi because we know both have already reshaped the way we think about finance and technology. Now with AI entering the equation, the possibility for creating innovative ecosystems are expanding rapidly. Today, we will dive deep into these possibilities and explore how AI is transforming on-chain behavior and in DeFi. We're thrilled to have several amazing speakers joining us. We wanted to invite our speakers to first introduce yourself and your project to us. Also, want to let everyone know that today's AMA session is both being featured on Binance Live as well on our X Spaces as well. Let's invite May, our ambassador of X1, to introduce yourself and your project to us. Thank you.
Hi, this is May here. I'm the ambassador representative of XONE, and today I'll be talking about the behavioral value incentive. In short, it's BVI. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. And next, we would like to invite our following speaker. I see Trihoshi is already here. Would you like to introduce yourself and your project to us? Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, good evening, everybody. My name is Tri, and I'm the ambassador of the Americas over at Balance. A quick introduction about Balance. We are a future-facing, mass adoption-focused infrastructure. We encompass AI, SocialFi, and of course, GameFi as well. It's an evolution of the ePal platform, which is currently the globe's biggest gaming companionship platform with over 4 million users. Balance is one of the only GameFi platforms that hosts both Web2 and Web3 games, and we feature a robust ecosystem that has a digital asset marketplace, a unique decentralized ID system, as well as some powerful social and AI tools just to scratch the surface. Currently, we're celebrating the launch of our Balance key nodes and have just cracked over 14,000 nodes sold. So we encourage everyone to check out our socials at Balance Web3 for more information. Thanks.
Thank you, Tri, for letting us know about the data. Wow, that is really amazing. And next, we would like to invite Lee CEO at Reflection AI to introduce yourself and your project to our audience. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Founders. Let me double check the connections over here. That's okay. We will circle back to you later. And how about let's invite Herbert Lee.
Hey, hello everyone. Thank you, host Moonlight. This is Herbert. I'm the general manager of Asia from Definity Foundation. Definity Foundation is it's a developer studio behind ICP or Internet Computer Protocol. We are one of the major layer one blockchains. The mainnet was launched 3 years and a half ago. In May 2021, and since then, our network has been expanding rapidly. And AI is dear to our heart. It's a main focus for ICP right now. So happy to share, what's coming in the ICP ecosystem on this front with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Herbert, for the intro. And I see Lee's over here on the stage as well. Let me double check if you could hear us. That's okay. If not, we will circle back to you. But before that, I still wanted to double check. Hi, Mr. Founders. Can you hear us?
Hi there, I can hear you perfectly.
Perfect.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes. Would you like to introduce yourself and your project to our audience? Thank you so much.
Great. Well, firstly, Moonlight, it's great to see you again and be talking to you again after our last Binance session. Hi, everyone, and thank you for investing your time in today's session. My name is Lee Flounders. I'm the Chief Executive of the Singaporean-based Reflection AI. We have a team now of around 20 plus staff, and we listed our token on October the 25th, and it is a utility token that is based around our business model. What is our business model? So we are a infrastructure company. If anyone is familiar, and I hope everyone is familiar with OpenAI and the various applications that OpenAI provide out, such as Chat GPT. We're very similar to OpenAI, but we are native to the Telegram network. So we're built on the TON infrastructure, the TON infrastructure, and we have a circulating coin called RECT, the RECT coin, that is on the Gate.io exchange. Basically, the model of our business is we provide a storefront for artificial intelligence developers to create AI mini apps, and we host those applications on our storefront, just like Google Play or iOS or on OpenAI, and consumers and users and businesses in the Telegram infrastructure can then utilize those AI models native to Telegram. So the best way to think about it is imagine using ChatGPT inside Telegram. Well, that's exactly what Reflection AI does, is we facilitate for AI models and tools to be used inside the Telegram ecosystem. Just like if you were using it within WeChat, within any of the Chinese models, the Baidu, the various chats, all the way through to WhatsApp or Messenger. So over to you, and thank you for the introduction.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lee, for a late intro. And next, we are going to dive into our very first discussion topic over here. We wanted to invite our speakers to share how does the value of on-chain behavior promote the ecological development of blockchain space. And we wanted to first invite May, the ambassador at XONE, to share your viewpoint with us. Thank you.
Okay, hi. So before I dive into the developments of the ecosystem, I would like to talk about today's blockchain ecosystem first. So currently, it is true that the current on-chain activities like doing transactions or staking, governance, participants, or other types of activities have always contributed to the security and the activities on a network. But here's the issues. There are actions that these actions don't always create value, nor provide a privilege to their users. So with this current stage, users may not be bound to interact or engage much with the ecosystem. And on the developer side, they might struggle to design an application that can be reached out for a long-term engagement. So we understand that the advancement of the technologies play a big part in navigating people's behavior. So this is where the approach of BVI, behavioral value incentive, come into place. So to dive into what is behavioral value incentive, or in short, BVI, it is a mechanism that rewards users based on their significant actions. To elaborate more on this point, XONE uses AI technology to analyze our users' activities. And by what it means is that every user's interactions, such as transaction volumes or its frequency, staking, or the app's engagement, will be generated in real time. With this stage, the on-chain data can be analyzed and translated based on this BVI framework. Into this kind of measurable value, we call this GV, which is basically a value carrying economics and asset significance. With this current blockchain ecosystem, they often overlook the value behind our users' behavior. But with BVI, for example, in a DeFi scenarios, when users score for their contributions, the rewards, loan interest, or governance weights will too be adjusted accordingly. This has resulted in restoring gains and communities' enjoyment. To talk a little more on how BVI rewards can be applied across various apps, with examples be like completing tasks or a milestone in a target application, or social interactions like inviting friends, voting in governance, or supporting content creators within the ecosystem. With all this apply, our users' experience will be improved significantly. And also developers will also receive new opportunities for innovation. So to sum up this behavioral value incentive, the launch of the implementation of BVI marks the new phase of blockchain industry, from transitioning from a technical competition to a value-driven ecosystem. The more community is built, the greater the prosperity development of the Web3 ecosystem will be. Thank you for my discussion.
Thank you, May, for sharing your viewpoint with us in terms of how the on-chain behavior promote ecosystem development of blockchain. And we wanted to check if we have any speakers over here wanted to add your viewpoint as well. This is a open mic session, so feel free to Lee. Feel free to share.
I'm happy to jump in. Yeah, so I mean, look, I'm not going to bore everyone. We always have very intelligent people on these calls and sessions who understand technology, but if you think about the on-chain value and the behaviors of developers and all of the participants, I mean, first and foremost, I'm going to state the obvious, right? So by having this decentralized situation where you have multiple developers, people across the world involved, you're providing that transparency and trust across the ecosystem. That's pretty obvious, right? And then when you have the users interacting with these on-chain, whether it's from development or just the various protocols, all the way through to the bug bounties, DAO interactions, you're providing a much more user-centric protocol. You're optimizing the tokenomics. Again, they're things that everyone will understand that. I think very quickly, if we look at Reflection AI, and I'll keep this very brief, but because we build on the TON network, and we have a token that's listed and it's on the exchange and very successful, and it's a utility token, so you don't see that pump and dump, is you are having better on-chain behavior. We have professional developers developing on-chain. We have over 7,000 node providers. So for artificial intelligence, we're providing high quality upstream compute that has real-time capability, and it's sort of that always on capability. So I believe that regardless whether you're a individual user all the way up to an enterprise development team working on chain, we're all working, whatever chain you decide, we're all working towards bettering the infrastructure, creating better user experience, creating better decentralized transparency as well. So that's just my thoughts.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lee, for sharing your views. And we wanted to double check if we have any other speakers who would like to add your viewpoints in terms of the value of on-chain behavior. Thank you.
Yeah, I can add a little bit on there. I guess that's really the beauty of blockchain, isn't it? Like Lee said, everything's transparent. You can see what everybody's doing on chain, and we can take that data and iteratively improve our ecosystems. There's so many aspects of Web3 that are inherently just improving the blockchain simply by existing. Lee mentioned DAOs, these reward mechanisms, especially with staking and providing liquidity. I mean, these are all ways that users interact on chain and develop it at the same time, just simply by participating. And then there are active participants in a tokens economy, trading, staking, and lending, and this creates that healthy circulation of tokens, stabilizes the tokens ecosystem, again, just by existing. So I think the self-sustainable nature of blockchain and token ecosystems really lends itself to this ecological growth of the blockchain. And now, obviously, we're beginning to add AI into the mix, which, of course, we're going to be talking about in more depth later on. But when we're adding this other layer of AI, now there's this layer of autonomy, there's this layer of being able to kind of divert resources away from the developers, saving them time and money, and overall just making the whole process even more efficient and creating a quicker growth curve for some ecosystems. So I think once we start to really see AI get ramped up and start to be integrated in a more mass adoption focused way, I think there's going to be an even bigger growth in blockchains.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tri, for sharing your view with us in terms of the on-chain behaviors. And I wanted to double check if we have any speakers want to add additional information.
Moonlight, maybe I can also add something as well. From the world of ICP, there's a lot we can talk about, but I just want to maybe introduce one thing from ICP, that is we can do a real peoplehood verification. Obviously, in the world of Web2, there's already a plethora of applications that can do real peoplehood verification. But in Web3, that is still pretty difficult to do. But when we talk about all these on-chain user behavior, one question is very critical. That is, we need to know, even though we don't know who is behind the smart contract, the DID and all that, but we need to build a reputation system. And we need to be while preserving the user privacy. So for ICP, one of the community projects called DeFi AI launched this product that is built 100% from front end to back end on an ICP that can do basically to verify whether you are a real person. And that has been already adopted in a number of other community projects in ICP, such as OpenChat, which is an instant messenger application. So we are hoping that this is just one tiny step toward a very grandiose eventual mission. That is, not only we can see the transparency and also preserve privacy of online users, but we also can figure out a way to cultivate a reputation score, a credibility, a social credit score, if you may, for the online users. I think that will be a very critical ingredient to today's topic. When we talk about AI, how AI is going to change the world, and I think all of us increasingly find ourselves spending more time to prove to some machine that we are human. So this is, I think, one step that we can do from this called a Design AI project from ICP. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, for sharing your views and your insightful perspective. It's fascinating to see how analyzing on-chain behavior can actually unlock new layer of utilities and foster a more interconnected blockchain ecosystem. And next, we would like to ask each of our speakers' viewpoint in terms of the combination of AI and blockchain. Is it an opportunity or, well, just a narrative for now? I'd like to hear from the viewpoint of the XONE ambassador, May's view first. Thank you. Yes, May, would you like to share your viewpoint with us in terms of the combination of AI and blockchain technology? Thank you.
Yes, hi. So the AIs and the blockchains compatibilities has always, I would say, walked together, and as well as to go forward, because in terms of the technologies investment, right? So what is it that AI can do? It can be like, it can be replaced what we as a human can't do it. So by doing like data analysis or behavior predictions, or we are also on the developer side, we can enable them to more marketing analysis. Yes.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing your views with us. And we also wanted to check if any speakers want to add your viewpoints on this topic. Do you think AI and blockchain's combination is a good opportunity, or is it just a way to sell some products? It's just a new narrative. Thank you.
Hey, Moonlight, would you mind if I jump in? Is that okay?
Of course, Lee. Feel free to open your mic.
So I know you know this, and many people will know that Reflection AI is all about bringing artificial intelligence mini apps to the Telegram network. But let's just take a step back. And this is the thing that often makes me laugh with the market at the moment, the blockchain and AI market, is we're talking about whether it's a fad or whether it's going to be something useful or it's not, with artificial intelligence and blockchain. But let's just take a step back. So, Satoshi Nakamoto, when he created Bitcoin, I think it was in 2009, right? So what are we looking at? Well over a decade ago, that the blockchain infrastructure has really become part of the mainstream narrative. So that's your blockchain infrastructure. But even before that, it was operating. Now, in advance of that, artificial intelligence, and I say this often with a number of my calls, is that artificial intelligence has been going since the 1960s, 1970s, and also advanced analytics. And so you have AA and AI, you have very relatively mature technologies really just coming together in a situation where the hardware is now allowing us to be able to function in a way that is faster, cheaper, and better And so you have a situation where through GPU compute, upstream GPU compute, you can have hardware that is facilitating for artificial intelligence in real time on advanced technological infrastructure, decentralized technological infrastructure, such as Web3 tools, such as the XONE network, which we operate on. So what you've had in the past is you've had these technologies in place, but now you have hardware that can facilitate for a better user experience, for cheaper interaction, faster, cheaper, better, which is pretty much what every business and every user is looking for as well. So I mean, of course, it's not a fad. What you have here is just the confluence, the merging of two tools that have been in place for a very long time, and especially AA, advanced analytics and artificial intelligence. So really all we're seeing is a maturity of the market. We're seeing better user experience. We're seeing many of your users will not understand the term ubiquitous. So that means the use of a tool across a much wider group of people, and that's what we do. So Telegram, as an example, you have over 1 billion users, and those users can be from any particular country, any particular financial situation, and they can access artificial intelligence through the Telegram network. So for my piece, we're not looking at new technology, we're looking at relatively old technology that's coming together, that is facilitated by better hardware and a better adoption across the market as well. So over to you. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lee, for sharing how Reflection AI does. And we also wanted to check if we have any speakers want to talk about blockchain and AI's combination. Is it an opportunity or just a gimmick? Thank you.
Yeah, I can continue.
Sure, Herbert.
Hey, Moonlight.
Feel free.
Hey,
Yes.
so AI, as I mentioned earlier, is dear to our heart for all the developers and the folks in ICP. Because one thing that is most unique about ICP as a layer one blockchain is our smart contract. We call it canister. Is really a Docker. It's able to run applications. So we do not rely on centralized cloud computing platforms such as AWS or Google, which means you can run like a truth terminal, like a Twitter bot, or a static website, or a SaaS, another version of Salesforce or Slack, completely on chain. All right. So in the age of AI, this is really our time to shine because we believe in the future of decentralized applications building on decentralized platforms. But the way that the current AI industry, well, centered in the Silicon Valley, is growing, that is not the direction they're going. It's becoming increasingly more centralized. So we believe a DAI, where we need to promote a decentralized AI to make sure, the three layers of AI, that is the data collection, the training of large language model, and eventually inference. All three layers will take place on decentralized technology platform, not on a centralized cloud computing platform or the offlines. So that's our grand vision. And I just share a link on the Twitter Spaces that's called a caffeine.ai. That is a stealth project incubated by our Dfinity team. We've been building this for months. So we are launching that in the next couple of months, because we see the industry right now is, okay, AI can already create codes such as a Cursor and a Copilot. We want to bring this to the next step. We want AI to be able to create applications directly, something like another truth terminal. But the truth terminal still runs on I believe on Google Cloud, because that's how most of the Twitter bots are built. But with ICP, you can actually run all these, whether it's a chatbot or a Twitter bot, or just another machine completely on chain, and just by describing to this AI what you want, and the smart contract on ICP will be able to generate this application, whether it's a website or a application, usually in the form of progressive web application directly in front of you. So that is caffeine.ai. That is, I think that's a lot of us, we are really looking forward to that. So stay tuned. And also back to the host, the question, it is how AI is in for Web3. It is just we're trying to, trying to ride the wave of AI and also get some attention, or it is real, or is there a real synergy between Web3 and AI? At least for ICP, we see this is the only way to go. We see the only future, the wonderland where, however we want to bring this AI, it has to be on a decentralized platform. Why? Let's imagine, let's say we fast forward 5 years from now. Okay, we have AGI by whoever, either from Gawk or from Elon Musk or from Open, from ChatGPT, from some element. Okay, we have AGI, big deal. What would the AGI want to do at this point? If you were this AGI, a reasonable hypothesis is this AGI, let's call him Adam, right? For lack of a better word, Adam. Adam wants to be independent, be able to control how he lives. And in the machine language, that means he needs to control power. He needs to be able to at least try to become immortal. Isn't that all of us try to do eventually for humans? So for AGI, how can he possibly gain immortality? Okay, so the answer is not going to be on AWS or Google, because all these, I came from AWS before joining Definity Foundation. It's fairly easy for any centralized cloud computing platform to shut down all the node validators or the virtual machine, the virtual instances running all these Twitter bots. The creator behind Goat, it can be easily shut down. So that should not be the final resting place for this AGI. It needs to be on a platform that is self-sustainable, that can grow on its own, that has some sort of a consensus, and eventually be able to harness energy to power its consumption. And we already have that. That is the blockchain. That means Satoshi already proven to us that it's possible. Bitcoin has been running, 15 years and still counting. And we have a number of very large layer one blockchains that have been around for a while. And, all of us, I think it's safe to assume, it's a safe consensus that most of us believe it's pretty difficult for a blockchain, especially a major blockchain, to die. Because once the flywheel gets rolling, you have all the node operators that are economically incentivized to power the network. You have all the developers, all the applications, and so on and so forth. So I think the birth and the prosperity of blockchain industry has already proven that there is a way. However we call it, a being, a social being, it's something that eventually may be able to gain its own consciousness or sentience, that is able to self-sustain, that is able to create a tokenomics model to make sure there are enough economic interest and also technology foundation to power that. And in that if I were this AGI Adam, that's where I want to go. That's where I want to plug in myself, because that's the only way to eventually immortality. So I think there's not only a critical for these two industries to converge, but also a necessity. Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Herbert, for sharing your views. And we also like to check if we have any speakers wanted to add your viewpoint on this. The combination of AI and blockchain, is it an opportunity or just a gimmick? Try, would you like to share your views? Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, from a more broader perspective, obviously it's absolutely an opportunity. I think Herbert's pretty much mentioned kind of everything that's going on in the current landscape in terms of how AI has been integrating into the blockchain. But I really think that we're already seeing a huge surge of development, especially with these AI agents like that he's mentioned. There's so many different applications in the industry, and the key is that they're being built not just for the sake of integrating AI as a showcase to see what AI is really capable of, but now we're beginning to see AI that's being built to solve actual problems. I think one of the most common use cases, obviously, is for data analyses, and having this autonomous analytic capabilities, being able to process data and statistics on chain. This is huge because it's helping solve scalability problems for a lot of projects and blockchains. AI can figure out how to allocate resources on chain. This lightens the load for actual developers. They can divert their time and energy to other tasks. And because AI is being used in Web3 and has the capability of independently executing these contracts, this opens up the door for automating things like DAOs, or even portfolio management. We're beginning to see AI take another step where they're using their analysis algorithms to identify market trends and actually execute trades on their own. For us at Balance, we're taking advantage of AI on both our SocialFi and GameFi platforms. So our Web2 offering ePal, it's a platform where game players can enlist the help of a real person to play games with them. It's kind of a mix of like a stream platform with Frentech, where you can enlist somebody to play games with you, and they can either provide companionship, just so that you have someone to talk to when you're playing games, or they are a high level player that can help you improve your gameplay. Well, our ePals are also supplemented by AI ePals, and these are AI agents that are constantly being improved so that they can provide better companionship. They can provide better support for our players who want to improve their game. And to supplement this, we also utilize AI on our GameFi platform on Balance to analyze the player's performance and statistics, as well as their in-game behavior to help them improve their game, or we can even use this data to reward players with airdrops. AI is very central to the Balance platform. Our nodes and their holders contribute to our AI model training network so that we're constantly improving our AI models and keeping up with the pace of AI development. And I think the sky's the limit for AI. There's so many ways to utilize AI. We can realistically see it being used in every single category in some capacity in Web3 kind of in the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Try, for sharing your view with us. And we also appreciate all of our speakers. Yeah, everyone, it's clear that while some of the AI and blockchain integration might appear to be gimmicks, the real opportunities are over here right on our stages. We are true builders, and all of our speakers' examples of successful implementations show that the synergy is not just a trend, but actually a foundational shift in how these technologies can work together. So, and blockchain is going to be, well, still over here for a long time. And next, we wanted to hear each of our speakers' viewpoints in terms of DeFi 3.0, the breakthrough direction of decentralized finance in the future. First, we wanted to invite the XONE Ambassador May to share your view with us. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So while decentralized finance has grown significantly, there are still challenges that hold it back. For example, there are 4 examples that I will be provided. So the first one would be most lending models are very rigid, making it hard for people to participate. The second example would be something like governance system often lack transparency and still are centralized in many ways. For example, ecosystems tend to be closed off, which discourage new projects from entering the ecosystem. And the last examples of the challenges would be the DeFi platform. They are still struggle to meet the diverse financial needs of the users. So to address the challenges, we are looking at some of the solutions as follows. By combining the PLS and the BVI to offer a flexible and customized lending models. And the next solutions would be the DAO-driven financials applications with dynamic governance model based on the behavioral score. Their solutions would be open a flexible ecosystem, access for new projects, lowering entry barriers, and penalize financial service linked to the user's preference. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, May, for sharing your viewpoints in terms of the future trend of DeFi 3.0. Also, would like to see if we have any other speakers want to jump into the discussion. Feel free to open your mic. It seems like
even though I can.
Yeah,
Okay,
Herbert,
DeFi,
please.
So DeFi obviously is a mission critical to the success of any layer one blockchain. So it is for ICP as well. The way this is we in ICP approach DeFi is slightly different. We, as I mentioned earlier, the major technological advantage of using smart contract of ICP is we can run the front end of web application, which means we'll be able to build bridgeless cross-chain protocols. Right. When it comes to DeFi, a couple of things: we need oracles, we need bridges, and we need liquidities. So on the first one, obviously, Oracle is essential to most of the DeFi applications in this industry. But in ICP, we don't rely on that. We don't need oracles because 2 years ago, we launched a major milestone. We landed a major milestone. It's called the HTTP outcalls. So if you're a developer using our smart contract, the smart contract can visit any other websites just as seamlessly, just as if you were using another website from the good old Web 2. You do not need to call another Oracle, which is usually expensive and also very centralized to our taste. So we remove that reliance on Oracle to give a lot more freedom and also lower the cost for all the DeFi developers. And number two, I mentioned about the bridges. The key problem of bridges is they are centralized, and most of them are controlled by human, which means somebody, some Johnny, he has access to root access to the entire program, so he can run away with money if he wants to. I think that it's only a matter of how much money is at stake. But for ICP, another major milestone that we landed about a year ago is called a threshold ECDSA. Without getting into too many technical details, basically we figure out how to create a cross-chain protocol without using a centralized bridge. In more technical terms, that means you can initiate a transaction from a smart contract on ICP and sign it, and this transaction will be received, say, on Bitcoin, and be validated by the Bitcoin network. And then Bitcoin network sends back, and it can be also received by ICP. So in a layman's term, we are giving the smart contract capabilities to Bitcoin at a layer one, not at a layer two, but directly at layer one. So this has unlocked a host of new applications in the last 12 months in ICP, such as Omnity, such as BOmni, and also Bifinity. These are the few very prominent projects from ICP in the world of DeFi that are pioneers in creating the cross-chain protocols. For example, Omnity, they just a couple of days ago just released this white paper for REE, standing for Ruins Exchange Experiment. That is able to create. It's open sourced. Eventually, it's going to be open source SDK. So if you're a developer using this REE from Omnity team, you will be able to create all kinds of DeFi applications on Bitcoin mainnet directly on layer one. You do not need to rely on layer two. Nowadays, even Babylon cannot do this full transaction on layer one on Bitcoin. They have to rely on layer two. which is not really not a, for the true believers of Bitcoin, that's not the way to go. So there are some really interesting innovations from ICP ecosystem for DeFi, and we believe this is there's a lot of it's a vast canvas that we still need to paint. Another area that's quite interesting is intent-based protocols, or IBP, which is, DeFi is very complex to use, even with the surge of Pump Fund and also GMGN, but still hard to use for the uninitiated, for new users coming to Web3. So we envision a world where, any users from Wall Street, whether it's Ray Dalio or Bill Ackman, they can describe what they want. I want to buy Bitcoin on a cost dollar basis, just like Michael Saylor does. And with this amount of capital every month on the 15th day of the month, make that happen. On ICP, that is already possible. There are already projects working on creating that kind of intent-based protocols. So eventually, we're talking about nothing short of reinventing the entire Wall Street with applications like that, that can not only taking care of your wallets, but also executing your investment strategies, including auto rebalancing every now and then. So yeah, so DeFi is pretty exciting for ICP, but take a look. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Herbert, for sharing your view with us. And we would like to check if anyone wanted to also jump into the discussion to predict on DeFi 3.0. Thank you.
I'll be super quick, Moonlight, and I'll try and make it really brief. As you will know, and some people will know, that I was the CEO of a large bank in Africa for a number of years. So my background is in financial services. And I'm just going to leave everyone with one word. And, we hear a lot of people talking about technology and, all of the applications. But fundamentally, for decentralized finance, it's exactly the same as traditional finance if you strip away the technology. But the one word I will leave everyone with is risk, R-I-S-K, so risk. Ultimately, if your technology provides tools to be able to mitigate risk, i.e. reduce risk for both the institutions, so the providers of decentralized finance, all the way through to the people who are trading or utilizing decentralized finance, you have a winning scenario. So technology, artificial intelligence, the decentralized model, generally speaking, if it can be utilized right in the right way, can reduce risk, and ultimately reducing risk is the fundamental issue. Anyone who has worked in finance will understand that banks, large financial institutions, make money through reducing their risk as little as possible, and people will only use financial services providers, whether it's decentralized or traditional finance, if they believe that their money is safe, or if they believe that they're reducing their risk as well. So keep that in mind. I think I challenge anyone who's going to create technology for the financial services industry, that the number one thing that you should always be looking at is how to reduce risk.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lee, for sharing your viewpoint. I also see Try open your mic. Please feel free to share your opinion with us as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I think when it comes, when we're talking about DeFi 3.0, I think probably one of the major tenets is kind of getting focused on mass adoption, particularly for Web3 and crypto. We're kind of getting to that point where institutions now have no choice but to recognize and even invest into Web3 blockchain technology, especially with the current political landscape. Everyone's pro crypto. It's kind of made its way into the government. We're seeing a government body called Doge, and it's being headed by one of the most famous pro crypto individuals on the planet. So it's safe to say that, with this mass adoption sort of viewpoint, DeFi 3.0 might actually already be here. And as the general populace begins to start moving into crypto, we're going to start seeing more and more real world assets get tokenized. And I think that would really usher in the next era for decentralized finance. For example, at Balance, because we're a mass adoption focused protocol, one of our strategies is making Web3 easily accessible for Web2 users through GameFi. For example, our ePal platform, which has 4 million users, Many of these ePals have their own communities and fandoms, and by utilizing their reach, we're kind of trying to transition Web2 gamers to Web3 games in a more frictionless environment. Balance itself is modeled after Steam, and we're making it as easy as possible for people to play their games, to trade their digital assets all in one place. And by integrating Web3 concepts into Web2 games, for example, we'll be hosting tournaments in the future with games like League of Legends, where users can earn token airdrops just by participating. It's kind of a way for us to help facilitate this mass adoption in our own way through gaming. So I think that's going to be the key when it comes to DeFi 3.0 and kind of normalizing crypto. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what the direction is going to be.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Troy, for letting us know about how Balance will do in terms of waiting for the trend of DeFi 3.0. And we have a very last discussion topic over here, want to creating an open ecology. So how do we achieve differentiated competition between public chains? We want to hear the viewpoint from May, our ambassador at XONE. Thank you.
Okay. To be prepared for the competition, we should lower the entry barriers to wary support mechanisms, provide comprehensive evaluations of the user's contributions through an AI-driven BBI model to encourage, and this will encourage the users participants in the ecosystem development. This version of ecosystem will foster interchange collaboration and value distribution within the ecosystem and try to keep the ecosystem open and inclusive. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, May. And we would like to check if we have any speaker wanted to talk about how do we achieve differentiate competition between different public chains. Thank you.
I'll go. Yeah, this is always a challenge, right? With we have many blockchains, many layer one blockchains, and we all want to go for the same things: developers, investors, capital, media attention, and also users, and also the attention from different governments, increasingly so. So this is really my job. How to how can we differentiate ourselves? So for ICP, there are a couple of things we're trying. One is we just from a technology standpoint, we want to appeal to developers from Web 2. That's just because the way our technology is stacked up. It's actually very familiar experience for developers with Web 2 experiences. You know, from either Microsoft, Google, or Alibaba or Tencent. They will find it's very intuitive to use our SDKs of creating whether it's a website or a SaaS or a game. It's and also a lot more simpler. But the fundamental principles are very much the same. And there are much fewer dependencies. So that's one way we try to go to market with obviously a much bigger cohort of Web 2 developers. And the other one is the other route we are exploring is enterprise. And also because the Internet Computer Protocol, the way our technology was created, is more like a decentralized version of Amazon Web Services. And a lot of friends in the industry criticize ICP as not being crypto enough, or probably too centralized for the look and feel of vintage classic Ethereum type of network. Guilty as charged. We are not Ethereum. We never try to become Ethereum. We try to recreate the whole internet. That would not be possible on a faster or cheaper version of Ethereum. So our technology from head to toe is entirely different. Is really aiming eventually for the enterprise customers that are spending somewhere between $4 to $5 trillion a year on IT infrastructure. So we are one project we are Definitive Foundation, we are incubating and building is called a Utopia. That is it's a crypto private cloud that can be provisioned and deployed by a local government, by an enterprise customer, by a bank, who want to have the flexibility and the agility of smart contract, and also all the tokenomics incentives that comes with a typical blockchain network, but want to have a much higher level of control in the whole network. So it's a bit of a hybrid. That's called a Utopia. We are building that. We are hoping to have a demo in the next couple of months, and then show that to our enterprise customers. So these are the two routes we're exploring. But this is always a continuous challenge. So all of you out there, if you have some suggestions or feedback for Definitive Foundation or ICP, do let me know. We are always try to learn from others, such as our host today, XONE, and also our fellow speakers on this panel. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Herbert, for sharing your views in terms of how we differentiate competition between public chains, and want to double check if we have any speakers who would like to add your views on this topic. Well, if not, I still wanted to encourage everyone to follow each other and follow our organizer XONE. XONE Chain is a leading behavior value incentive chain incubated by Hui1 Foundation and offering various rewards through multi-level data refinement. This is definitely amazing. And we also want to encourage everyone to give our speakers a follow. Today, we are very glad to have our May, right? The ambassador at XONE. Also, Try, the ambassador of Balance, and Lee, CEO of Reflection AI, as well as Herbert, definitely GM of Asia. Thank you all for joining us today with a wonderful discussion on how AI empowers decentralized finance in the new ecology. And I'm Moonlight. Wish you all a great rest of the day. Be sure to follow us so the next time you are going to get additional notification from our accounts. Thank you.
Thank you, Moonlight.
Thank you,
Great
team.
hosting.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.